Okay, so number 3. I honestly think this is easier if you don't use a product rule. I would change the square root of t into t to the 1/2 power and distribute and then do a simple power rule. But I suspect that's not how you guys did it, so I will do it your way and I will do a product rule, even though I don't think that's the best way to do it. Okay, so using a product rule, here are my 2 factors, and I now need to find their 2 derivatives. Well, first, visualize the square root of t. We're going to treat that as t to the 1/2 power, okay? And the derivative of that would be 1/2 t to the negative 1/2. And then you're going to bring that t to the 1/2 on the bottom and make it 1 over 2t to the 1/2. And make that 1 over 2 root t. Now, I want you to look back. The original question was the square root of t, and the derivative still has a square root in it. This square root, the derivative of the square root function, happens so often, it's very helpful if you can kind of memorize, make sense of it, but memorize where that's going. The derivative of square root still has a square root. Okay? Then we have the derivative of this guy, which is just negative 2t. So here are my 4 things we have to do the crisscross to. So crisscross. The derivative will be this times this in any order you want. Okay? And you can leave it like that or add the exponents right now. You could also leave it like this. So whatever one's easier. But I have negative 2t times root t, or what that would be simplified. Okay, I'll worry about that in a minute though. Okay, then plus this. When you multiply this, this guy's a fraction, so this will go on the bottom, and this is a fraction if I put it over 1. So when we multiply it, it's going to be this over this. Okay, I need to make a little bit of space for that. Okay, so hopefully you understand where this came from, just multiplying them. Again, when you multiply something like these two, this one's over a 1, so it would look like this. 1 minus t squared over 1 times 1 over 2 radical t. And you just multiply the top across and the bottom across. And I want you to visualize getting straight to this guy right away. All right, so you might think that's the answer. I mean, right here, I could add the exponents and simplify that, okay? T times root t. I could fix that right now. But other than that, this doesn't look anything like the answer when you look at the answer. And that's because if you have a fraction with more than one term and there's a variable in the denominator, they're going to get a common denominator. You don't really have to do that, but it's going to lead to your next step in the calculus world where you have to then do something else with this derivative. So that's what they're preparing you for. So in general, if there's more than one term and there's a fraction in one of them with the variable in the denominator, then your textbook is going to get a common denominator. And that would be also how it would look like on a multiple choice test. So how do we get to that answer? So to get to that answer, we just need a common denominator. This one has 2 root t and the other one doesn't. The other one's got a 1 on the bottom. So I'm going to take this fraction that has a 1 on the bottom and I'm going to change it and multiply by 2 root t. If I do that on the bottom, I got to also do that on the top. So what effect does that have? Well, now you have a common denominator, 2 root t, you keep that. And in the numerator, I just have to clean all this up. So when we multiply this out, in the first term, we have a negative 2 and a positive 2. That's a negative 4. And how about all those t's? We have a t, and we have a root t and another root t. So square root of t times square root of t is t, times another t would be a t squared. Here's what we had. We had t, and we had a root t, and a root t. Okay? The 2 square roots make a t times another t, which is t squared. The other thing you could have done is visualize all of them as exponents. You could have said this is t to the first, t to the 1/2, and t to the 1/2. And if you add up all those exponents, you get 2 also. So all of that junk became negative 4t squared. And then we have plus 1 minus t squared. That's still there. Combine like terms and you're done. So you get negative 5t squared plus 1 over 2 root t. Okay, so what was it you may have missed on this problem? I think in the simplifying, just remember if there's a fraction that has, if there's a fraction and the denominator has a variable and there's more than one term, then they're probably just going to get a common denominator. Hope that helped. That's number 3.